Welcome to Roxtalks, the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. I'm Roxanne Wilson, and it's the 90-day stretch. Are you ready? We are literally, by the time this comes live, it'll be it'll be like the 29th, the end of September, which means you have 90 days to go ahead and go for it. You have 90 days to go for the end of the year. So whatever has happened over the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter of the year, whatever's happened in 2021, the rest is still unwritten. Thank you, Natasha Bedingfield. You have a chance to reach your goals, to forget about what you didn't do yet and get some things done. And today we're going to talk about exactly how to get focus and make that happen. We'll be right back. Happy holidays. One day I won't be singing that and you will actually miss it. Well, maybe that's not true. But what I know is true is this. With the last 90 days looking straight at you in the face, if you don't have a plan for your holiday strategy, or how you're going to get more customers, how you're going to get more team members, how you're going to reach your monetary goals in your business for the last 90 days, then you're going to be going cattywampus. Things will be pulling and pushing at you in different ways. It makes sense, right? I mean, you've lived through a holiday. You know how it can be. Now add to that your business. Things don't go away. Pressures don't go away in life just because you added a business to it, right? Or you're focusing on that. So how do you work through the next 90 days and make sure you've got the holiday strategy of your dreams so you can hit those goals, so you can spend some time with your family, so you can go through it without spending way too much money on your business? Would you like to make money? Then I encourage you to join me for the Slay Your Sales Holiday Workshop. It's a comprehensive workshop that's going to give you exactly what you need to set up your strategy for the holiday season. In addition to that, you're going to get an actual tracker that's going to help you keep track of what you're doing on a daily basis and how it's going, not only monetarily, but also for your social media. You'll also get a free bonus, which is an awesome bonus, which is your holiday gift guide. If you like to make one and you're like, I want to do one, but I just don't know how, got you covered, as well as other goodies that are going to help you with your holiday strategy. We cannot wait for our company or upline to come up with their holiday strategy and then try and make it work for us. The right way to do it is to come up with our own strategy and then interject anything that fits that strategy that we have. So if you'd like to come, just go to socialstoriesmembership.com/holiday, and you'll get information to join us either live or get the on-demand copy and all of the extra goodies that go along with it. Can't wait to see you there. So it's the last 90-day stretch, is it? 90 days when I was a young warthog seemed like a lot. Do you remember quarters and semesters in elementary school? Man, those felt like an eternity. Each one of those felt like it was a year. But as they say, as we get older, time seems to fly. Would you agree? Man, 2021, what I was calling the 2020 after party, I thought the after party would be done by now. But the after party has continued into most of 2021 in a lot of ways. That doesn't mean that we can't rock the last dance, right? It doesn't mean that we can't make this last push what we want it to be. In the podcast about 2 episodes ago, I talked about, are you letting your past dictate your future? If you haven't listened to that, listen to this and go back and listen to that. But today I want to give you that strategy to make sure you don't. Let's really focus in on where we want to be at the end of December. On January 1st, 2022, what will we say we've accomplished? What will we look back and have accomplished? And I have to admit, this is a big focus for me in a lot of ways, because I realize that when I have 90-day goals, man, things start to really happen in a great way. And I want that for you. In fact, I want that for my entire community. So in the Roxtalks community, in a couple of days, I'm meeting with and doing a special mastermind with the pro members, and the elite members, and some of the annual members. And we're just going to really break down their 90-day goal so that they know exactly what they need to do to get there. It's a little extra thing that I like to do to help them get focused. But today, I'm going to talk to you about some things that you can put into process to help you out. First and foremost, it's time to get a hero. I need a hero. You know, I think I've been talking about hero products for years. I know I have. Till I'm blue in the face. And some of you have been embracing it and rocking it. Some of you have like, oh, okay, maybe. Here's what you need to know to make it through this last 90-day push of the year. Focus is huge. And by focus, if you're focusing on one product or one collection inside of the products that you offer, that is really going to help you get that focus you need to really be clear on how to promote and how to sell what you got cooking. Okay. Think about it. For most of you, you have a lot of different products. Now, if you're Color Street, you have one product and then of course, with a lot of different varieties underneath it, but you have one product. So you have no problem focusing on a hero product. But if you're like in, Modere or Isogenics or even Savvy, you got a lot of things going on. It's time to focus on one. Now, I know you're gonna be like, but I love them all. I know. You can love them all, but let's for this next 90 days focus on one. What does that do for you? That means that when you are posting things about your product, when you are talking about things about your product, it's all surrounded around this one thing. It gives you clarity, which means you can start scheduling out and planning what you're going to be posting. It gives your clients clarity, which means they know what you're about, what you're offering, how that's working. You see what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. Now, if you're wondering, and you can go back and listen to like search hero product in the podcast if you want to hear more about a hero product. I'm not going to go into all the goodies about that today because we've talked about it before. But here's what I want you to think about. If you become an expert in that one product, if people know you as the go-to for that one product, what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is they're going to trust you for things that are adjacent to it, right? And you want that hero product to be something that gets people results in such a great and a quick way that they want more. Now, you might think because it's the holiday season too, you might, when you're looking at your hero product, make sure it's something that's giftable that people will want to gift. If it's super personal, that's not going to be the way you want to go for the next 90 days. I'm not saying switch that product if you already have a hero product and you're rocking it, but if you're just picking one now, think about that element as well too. We want to streamline and focus as much as you can. You got a little bit of time. You have things knocking on your door that want your time as well too. So let's get really focused on it. So number one, it's time to pick your hero product. What if you pick wrong? Y'all, you won't. Trust yourself to pick one and lean into it. Don't give yourself that, well, that means that I'll post, I can still dabble in other places. Yes, you can. But if you dabble and then you look back and go, the hero product didn't do all it did, it might be because you're dabbling and your focus was not as clear. So get really into and lean into being the queen of, the expert on that specific product. Okay. All right. If you have questions about this, do me a favor. Just message me. Hop on Instagram at Roxtalks and go, I heard that hero product thing. Here's my issues. Here's where I need some focus or guidance. We can talk it through, but you want to get a hero product. The next thing you want to do is get really clear on planning out your social media. Now, for those of you who like to be in the moment with your social media, that's awesome. In the moment, when you say that's a great post, take the picture, write it down, and schedule it for the future. Don't wait for the moment to actually get your posts up. You don't have time for that. You are building your business. You are mom and perhaps cook, and you are organizer, and you are, you're doing all these other things. I could list a bajillion of them, right? Maybe you might be homeschooling, hybrid or real, right? Full on. You might be carpooler. You've got things, you might have a full-time job outside of the home. You got things going on. You do not have time to be focused on getting your social media done in that moment. That's one thing that I really focus on with Social Templates Club, and I'm loving it. I actually pulled some of them the other day and I said, like, how many of you gotten to that 30 days social media plan? What was so cool is more and more of them are like, I'm almost there, I've gotten there. And I love that because that's something that I found was difficult Time after time, network marketer after network marketer would say, I'm trying, Roxanne, but I'm getting to 7 days or 14 days. Couldn't get to the 30 days. And now they're hitting it out of the park because of the tools in Social Templates Club and how easy and clear it is, and it makes all of your posting. So, you can still hop into Social Templates Club, socialtemplates.club, and join that if you think you need some assistance and guidance and some actual templates that are ready to go for you that you just customize to pop into your social media. I highly recommend that. But sitting down and blocking out time and really doing your social media, that means blocking out time to plan it. That means scheduling it. My favorite scheduling tool for you is Facebook Business Suite or Facebook Creator Suite, Creator Studio or Business Suite inside of Facebook to post and to schedule your Instagram and your Facebook. That's what my team uses, and I highly recommend it. Don't worry about the buffer, or even some of your companies have their social fill in the blank, blah, blah, social. Now, those are not actually helping you in the algorithm. Just gonna remind you of that. Instagram and Facebook are jealous lovers. So it would behoove you to just use the free service that Facebook and Instagram give you. It's all through Facebook, but you hop onto either of those and you hit the little Instagram button, schedule out those things. You can schedule out your stories. You can schedule out your posts. The only thing you can't schedule right now is Reels, which is okay. Block the time. Find some time on your schedule and block time for Reels. And I highly recommend batching them. What I've started doing, which has really started helping, is going, okay, for me on Fridays, I know Fridays is real time. Really, no pun, yes, pun intended. So I do at least 3, sometimes 4 of my reels then, and I have them ready to go. By that, I mean, I record them and then I may or may not put the captions on them. Then I try to, and so that they're ready to go. I always save them to my phone as well, because we know that Instagram can erase your drafts. It happens to many people all the time. And then I'm ready to go on the day. So you're batching and you're scheduling. So even that I'm planning. So I plan out, well, I recommend my team plans out. I'm not going to say that I do it all myself, because that would be a lie. A month's worth of content is all planned out. And then we actually schedule the different pieces. And then reels, I do those and I batch that time. Okay. So something to think about. My clients right now are doing what I'm teaching, doing the 30-day planning, and it's happening for them in a big way. I highly recommend you do that. That's going to give you focus. Now, because you have your hero product, you know what you're going to be putting in and scheduling, right? And then you'll pepper in stories and things as they come, and you'll pepper in special, like holiday specials. That's fine, but you've got your base done, so it gives you time to juke and jive. And the last thing, so number 1 was focus. And part of focus is, yes, specifically getting that hero product and leaning into it. Listen to past podcasts on hero product, big on that. Number 2 is to go ahead and plan. Get your social media plan going. If you need help with that, go ahead and join Social Templates Club. It's literally $21 and it'll give you a month's worth of content and show you how to use it that you can make that happen. That's number 2. Okay. Plan that and batch your reels. And then number 3 is to hold as focus, make a priority to have some time for you. You want to be successful in these next 90 days. It's not pushing for 90 full days. Gone are the days where we could do that. I'm not in college anymore. I don't pull all-nighters. Maybe you can still do it, but I can't. And I'm not going to teach or recommend that. Find pockets of time. And when your body tells you you need to slow down, when your mind tells you need to slow down, then find those pockets of time too and honor that. That's not getting behind. That's getting ahead. Because you taking a pause when your body says stop, when your mind says stop, that's the rejuvenation time that you need so you can keep on going. So we're not going to see that as lost time. That is income producing activity. For those of you who like the phrase IPA, that's super, super important. Okay. Give yourself those pockets. For me, now that our gyms are finally open, and the steam room is open, and the steam room is my place. And so after class, I try and make a priority probably 99.99999% of the time, I let myself steam, even if it's just a run around. I let myself steam. Even though I'm thinking, Roxanne, you got X, Y, and Z. I'm like, no, you take that time. And I got to tell you, It's rejuvenating, not only to just like sweat in that way, but things come to mind. I have like great epiphanies and thoughts right there in the shower. It's an amazing place, let me just tell you. I highly recommend that you find your happy place, your self-care place. I know it may sound little, but to me, that steam time is awesome. And Scott and I were having dinner yesterday and I brought that up. I'm like, do you know that when I go to the gym, I steam every, every time. And he's like, okay. I'm like, does that sound indulgent? He's like, no, you need that. I'm like, thank you, darling. I do need that. I don't need to feel like I need to rush back. Things will be there. I promise you, whatever you need to get done will still be there. But you won't if you don't give yourself that time for self-care. So that is a big one and maybe be the most important one. That doesn't mean you don't push yourself, you don't reach for goals, but it does mean that you realize that part of getting to your goal, part of pushing yourself is that rehabilitation, is that time that it takes. I love Olympians. You know what Olympians do? They rehab as much as they work out. They do. They take that time for their body because they know that rehabbing that body, that self-care, is going to help them go faster, stick more landings, win the gold medal, get to the Olympics, darn it. So I want that time for you as well, too. 3 things that you can do to really rock the next 90 days to make the end of 2021 be all that it can be. I know that was an army phrase. It just came to me. So Number 1, get focused. Focus in on a hero product. Focus in, make it simple. By focusing, you're going to really set yourself up as an expert and you're going to give yourself some clarity, which will make it a lot easier to do number 2, which is to create your social media schedule, your plan, and schedule that plan. Block the time for things you need to create and make that happen. And then last but not least, give yourself space for self-care. Listen to your body, listen to your mind, listen to your heart. And when you need that time, take that time and schedule in that time as well, too. All right. We'll be right back with Behind the Scenes. Oh, so what's been happening? What's going on? I got to tell you, for us, this has been an interesting time. If you listened to the podcast last week with Minissa Konecki, thank you for listening to that. We talked about lessons learned from Lula Rich. And there's been a lot of talk about Lula Rich lately, and there should be, right? It's an Amazon show, so Amazon's pushing it. One of my clients just mentioned that she saw the commercial on television, so it's not going away. And it's been interesting because it's opened up some great conversations with you all, with network marketers. And thank you for your feedback and thank you for listening to last week's. That is not the end of the conversation that I'm going to be having with it because it is an important place for people who believe in network marketing to have a voice, not a voice that is like with a chip on her shoulder, right? But a voice that can have a discussion and show in other ways. So I think it's really timely, and I'm very happy. If you have not, if you don't on Instagram, I do 2 segments and one on Facebook. On Wednesdays, I do a conversation with a network marketer where I interview and chat with a network marketer. And I think the time on that is so great and wasn't intentional, but showing people fantastic network marketers who are doing so many different things and are different stages of the network marketing business showcases the reality of who is behind this MLM thing, right? And then the other thing I do is unpopular opinions. And in unpopular opinions, that's on Thursdays, that's on Facebook and on Instagram. What I did this last or 2 weeks ago was I did one on Lula Rich and how we should all watch it. And that has spurred an interesting conversation. I have people who are like, I'm not watching. And people are like, okay, I'll watch it. I cannot stress to you how important it is for us all to watch Lula Rich. Because if you don't, then you're not part of the conversation and you're giving license and credence to other people to fill in the blanks on what's real and what is good about network marketing, what's bad. So I really encourage you to, and what's real about Lula Rich, right? Fact and fiction. Lean in. Doesn't matter if you are or were in LLR or not. This is really for you. So take that time. It's 4 hours of your life. Yesterday I was on Minissa Konecki's podcast that streamed live on Facebook while recording it, where we talked about it, and she kind of flipped the script. She's like, Roxanne, when I was on your podcast, I found that I was still dealing with it. She started, if just a like a continuance, she hadn't watched it yet. She wasn't ready to watch it. After our conversation in the podcast, she's like, I can do this. I can watch it. So by the time we recorded her podcast, she'd watched the first episode, but she really wanted to kind of flip the switch and get my opinion on things, which is so funny. I'm like, okay, my opinion? All right. Cause I'm the interviewer. But it went, I'm not going to lie. I went on some soapboxes. We went down some bunny trails about just things that need to change about network marketing. So if you want to listen to that, in a positive, we love rah-rah network marketing, but some things that we can all do better. If you want to listen to that, that is I've shared it on my Facebook page as well too. So if you go to Roxtalks podcast, you'll see that there to take a look at. And then tomorrow is Friday. I was asked to be on a podcast, another network marketing podcast, to talk about LuLaRich again. So and that's not the end of it. There's gonna be more of it. We've got to, like I said, be in this space, because if we're not in this space, those who don't understand us, those who have an axe to grind with us, will take over the space. And that is the last thing we want. So stay tuned for some more exciting things that will be happening with that. Other thing is, I got my hair done. If you watch the podcast, you can see that, but it was time. Fall was here, so summer braids had to go. Goddess braids went away. I went with passion twists. Some of you are like, what? Yeah. So if you want to see what that looks like, go ahead and go to Roxtalks podcast. You'll see a picture there, or go to my Instagram and you'll start to see pictures on there as well too. New hair. Yes, I care. That's but there's something about that when you change your hairstyle, right? It's like a renewal. It's like, all right, here I am, world. So I'm ready for you, fall. Come and get you. Come and get me. I'm coming for you. How about I'm coming for you? And I'm coming for this last 90 days. I told you that I'm masterminding with my clients on their next 90 days. You and I just talked about your next 90 days a little bit on the podcast. And for my team, my integrator, we sat down and we've been really focusing on what the next 90 days are going to look like for our business. And I'm very excited about what we've got going on. I think you're going to love it. And we're ready. We're ready. We're coming for you. Not you, but I mean for you, 90 days. I gotcha. All right. That's all I have for you today. It's so good to see you. So good to have this conversation with you. Thank you for saving the space for us for Roxtalks. And if you know someone who's not listening, please share the podcast with them. It is here to help you really get clear on how to grow your business, your network marketing business on social media, how to get Facebook and Instagram working for you. But it goes beyond that. You know that. It goes to your heart, your soul, to all things, to just encourage you and give you that space so you can be all that you want to be, and you can make your business all that you want to make it. So I thank you for this. I thank you for this time. And you're not ahead. You're not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. I'll see you next week for another episode of Roxtalks. Bye.